About the putter story.
Well, after Maplehurst, I took a couple years off, and I heard about this course on the Bust-Ice-Stillwater Road that had a game that you divided up teams and played for a little bit of money and skins, and they called it the skin game. And I said, well, man, that'll keep me interested. I didn't. All my friends had left Maplehurst; they'd gone to other courses, and I started playing there, and gradually started improving, unbelievably improving, that I became the top captain at South Hills after 3 or 4 years. And I think my handicap dropped from like 9 to 1 year it was 0 when I was in my 40s. But one night we're in a Wednesday night skin game, and I had Rich Perry, Joe Papalardo, and Pete. I don't know what Pete's last name is. I'll think of it before this ends. But we got over to the 9th hole, par 3, and there's a big pond in front of the tee. And it's not very far from the tee, the pond is. And there's a terrible tradition in the skin game that the worst player tees off first, and then the third man, they call him, and then the 2-man, and then the captain, me, gets up. Well, after these guys had all hit, I teed my ball up, and I started to take the club back, and I felt a disturbance to my left. And I looked, I dropped the club, it was so disturbing, but I looked a few feet out into the pond, and there was an arm coming out of the water. This is a true story. The water's here, and the arm is holding a putter. What we didn't know was Tom Trusso had hired skin divers to go in there to search for balls. But I mean, our balls are like this, but I go over to the edge of the pond a few yards away, and I look and I say, that's my putter. It was my putter that I threw in the pond from the adjacent 8th green about 50 yards away many years before that, and one of my rages for another short putt that cost us money. And addicted. I don't know if you know about golfers, but they're addicted. Not everyone, but people, they're always looking for a way to get better, a secret or a cure. And my mind started racing and saying, this is God. This is God bringing this putter back to me, and it's going to work this time. It's going to behave. I mean, how else could this 10 million to 1 occurrence when I'm on the tee happen? So finally the skin diver comes out of the pond, and he swims over to the side, and I go over and said, sir, that's my putter, can I have it? And he looked up at me, and he starts swearing and saying, I keep everything I find. And then I started begging. I says, sir, that really is my putter. And can I please have it? And he throws it at me and says, here. Well, I could hear the water sloshing in the putter shaft. And I played with it the rest of the 9, and I think the first putt I attempted with it was a 5-foot putt, and it went in. And I said, I looked up and said, thank you, God. I mean, but as things go, probably a couple weeks later, I'd had it, and I think I threw that putter in the woods so far that Indiana Jones couldn't find it. And I said, you could send that to Golf Digest, I suppose, but I never did. I waited to put it in writing, and you can believe it or not, all 3 witnesses have passed on, but the last living one, I had him sign a statement of what happened that night.
Well, here, just hold this up just for the camera, because that's the front page of that.
Yeah.
Let me just get that right there. You can't make this stuff up. That is front page of Hey Boomer, Golf Really Is That Story. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Gary Peters Sr. Drew that picture.
Oh, that's great.